the situation is, as brought up by Eric at the February 20th meeting, he put together a comparison of salaries for like-sized counties, like-sized responsibilities, things like that. Obviously, his salary falls significantly below other counties. If you look at where I look, kind of in the graphs down at the bottom, the charts down at the bottom, especially the bottom one where it says chart composed of only the counties within a 15% population range of Hawkins County's population. I'm gonna go ahead and say this because it's public record, but let's be judicious and who we talk about this to, if you don't mind. Eric makes $48,321 a year. The average in the counties of like size is $85,565. There's a couple of issues here, and one is his job is on the scale at a level 12, with step 10 only being 64,619. Eric has asked that and I don't blame him. Let's come up with something to pass on to the budget committee as to what we want to do with his salary. There are other counties that tie it to some officials like trustee, county clerk, property assessor, etc. Some that's between, some that's higher, some that's just a little bit lower than those salaries. I'm open to any suggestions. I don't have really any figure in mind. The challenge is, we talked about the last meeting, there are certain qualifications that you have to meet to be a salaried individual. You can't really be pulled off of this scale. And his job doesn't meet all those requirements either. So we've got kind of a two-pronged thing. We've got a scale, and we've got him being underpaid, and we've got salaries of comparable positions. So I've thought about it, and I really don't have any recommendation one way or another.
Yeah, I'm kind of like you, like we talked last time, one of the worst things about it is Eric does a good job. Eric really does a good job, and we went through, maybe two or three in the last 6-7 years, finance directors like he is. Eric could potentially leave and go somewhere else really easy.
I wouldn't mind. I mean, you look at
these
these salaries from neighboring counties, would definitely be worth the price.
He's lower paid than people that only have less than 20,000 people in the county. I just, like I said, I'm like you, I have no recommendation. I don't know money-wise what we should say. I don't know what Eric is, Eric wouldn't ask. Eric wouldn't say out loud, give me this, give me that. Right. That's just Eric. And I don't like it. It's the kind of person he is.
Exactly.
And that's good. That's good. But with that being said, I'm the same position Commissioner DeWitt is. He needs it, but I don't know what to say.
George, what's your thought?
Well, I think we're gonna have to increase it.
Yeah.
And at least should be average. At least.
Commissioner Edens?
It needs to go up in comparison to some other counties and stuff. Probably gonna get shot before I get out the door. If we went to 68,000 a year, that would put him above counties that are fewer than we are. And would be even less than counties that we have basically the same money for, the same number of people for.
Yeah.
So that would be, it's a little embarrassing to see 48,000 on there with everybody else, smaller counties and less money in other counties. But that's what I'd say.
His counterpart at the school system makes 64.
64.
And she had this job to start with. Yes. She left here.
I'm glad you brought that up, I didn't know that, I didn't think about even looking at that number. Commissioner Kearns.
I agree with Commissioner Egan. I was embarrassed when I saw this. I also saw that he did a pretty good audit this year for the county.
Clinton.
Gotta start somewhere with the figure. I would recommend probably, from my standpoint, that we go 65, 68 range.
Okay, so then the challenge is, how do we do this based on this scale?
We just changed the scale and changed it.
Do we add another pay grade or two?
I think probably we need to,
Yeah, I would think so.
because if he's not in, if he doesn't qualify for these categories, we're gonna have to have a category that he does qualify in. So,
Now, he's got county experience before this thing, right? We know how many years,
Where'd you say?
clerk's office.
Okay, yeah.
I would like to make one comment while you're talking about this. You're comparing him to the school finance director, but just remember Eric's the county finance director.
Right.
yeah.
And I feel like he should be paid more than that. And at least the average, I think that's fair on both sides.
Yeah.
Believe me, Eric's worth it. Eric does a great job. And we're gonna lose Eric if we're not careful. And I don't blame him. He can go to the next county over and make $30,000 more first day.
See, we've got, this is March. We've got April, May, to work on maybe adding another couple of levels to this. That gets into a lot of other things though. That's gonna have to be, the whole commission's gonna have to approve levels. We could suggest levels.
There's not a way to do it without changing the salary scale.
You know, the only way, there's a couple ways.
Sorry for mumbling, I asked if there was a way to do it without changing the salary scale. Sorry.
No, it's okay. You know,
Thank
elected official salaries are dictated by the state. The other salary positions, and I don't know if there's really even any, are another figure, and then everybody else is on this pay scale.
Currently, where's he? I see down here on 12, it's got a $64,000 maximum on it.
Right. He's at 48,321, which is,
Way out.
yeah. I think he's an 11.
11 is 58, isn't it?
11
One's
caps out, and remember, this is by years, so we're 19 years in, it caps out at 58. And these are figures that really aren't gonna move until maybe there's cost of living adjustment, whatever. There's nothing really we can say, you know, just move this across the board. In my mind, the only way to do it is add a level or two
Yeah,
and reclassify his
we're
job.
gonna have to.
We've got time to do that. I don't think he's looking for anything retroactive for this year. I think he's probably looking for something July 1. So, based on whatever you all want to do, I can come up with a couple more levels on here with percentages, using percentages that are here. And yet, we've heard the figure 65 to 68.
Disregard. Disregard.
Disregard.
Yes.
You're thinking what now?
Well, after looking at that and seeing that the average, well,
And keep in mind too, that if we ever go to centralized purchasing, he's gonna have a whole lot more responsibility.
Agreed. And that was just something I thought about, because like I said, I was very embarrassed to see this figure. And I realize that our scale we go by, but if it's not working, it's not working. We need to adjust this scale and put it in perspective to where it needs to be.
Well, opening a whole other can of worms, but you know, when we did this and got it in place, we talked about really looking at each job description and where they need to be and what pay grade they need to be. And that's a lot of work to do in a couple of months, but I mean, I'm willing to work on the scale if that's what you all direct me to do.
My recommendation would be that we work on the scale. If we have to add a couple more practice on it or whatever. We gotta fit the need.
Mr. Adams?
I agree.
I don't really think that needs to be a motion. But I think that it's just, if you all are in agreement, I'll work on this and bring us something back next time we meet. It causes another meeting, and I hate that, but we can't do it today, for sure. And I think Eric will understand that we have to do it within the scale, so we'll have to work on the scale. It's another one of those where you go in front of the commission and wish that the personnel committee didn't get all the hard stuff.
That's all I'm worried.
But yeah, they're gonna have to approve it, and that's, we can recommend it. And, you know, I hope you all support the idea of it.
You start doing a floating $15,000-$25,000 pay raise, you're gonna catch a lot of slack.
Oh, I know. I know,
Yes.
I know.
Might look at it over a 2 or 3 year period.
Phase it in like we did the other.
But it'd also be a lot easier. There's so many things that we discussed that Commissioner Barker sitting here, and I don't know if anybody else, but there's so many things that we discussed that if everybody heard it, they would understand. You know, they would understand, instead of getting, you know, we come to a county commission, a big meeting once a month, and you hear this stuff, and you get a $25,000 pay raise laid in front of you, and you get a lot of slack, but nobody understands, you know. I said, I commend Nancy, Commissioner Barker, sorry, for coming, you know.
Well, I think we all got pretty much smacked in the face when he gave us this comparison.
Yeah.
And I think that everybody needs to see this comparison.
Can we give this comparison to
Yeah.
them early, without
Yeah.
them, you know,
Yeah.
before we lay anything else?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good.
I mean, we could pass it out for information purposes at the meeting in a couple of weeks.
I'm sorry, Keith, Commissioner Gibson, sorry, brother, thank you for telling me something.
I'm hiding.
You're hiding behind Bobo, man.
He could throw something from there and not be seen.
Sorry, Commissioner Gibson.
Okay, let's do that. I'll get this out for information purposes at the next commission meeting. And let them know the personnel committee's working on a solution for it. And it's gonna cause a lot of talk. I mean, it's gonna be,
They just go ahead and get it over with, then, you know,
You're gonna try to do it in like 3 steps.
I think that's probably reasonable. Probably reasonable. You know, we need to do it. We need to get that good faith effort out there so Eric knows we're doing something.
Yes.
You know, he told me he thought he was flying high when he got that salary. But then when he did this, he realized that, he's not comparing with anybody close. So, okay, if there's no other discussion on that, I'll just go ahead and start working on that, get the information purposes out to the commission. Okay with everybody? Yeah.